go. Well, hey, Patriots. All right, we got Beverly in the house. Third of its kind. How you doing? It's good to see you. I'm back in action. Got the van running. Other repairs to be made, but it's running again. That's awesome. We're going to be going over J6 news updates and chat. Get a chat going. We got some time before it gets dark out now. Found a nice sunny spot with a nice farm in the background there. I hope the noise isn't too bad though. There's a highway right over here. Hi, Carol Burton. How are you? Docs and Grandma. Ted for Freedom. Woohoo! The band's fixed. That's right. I got in on your chat tab like right when you shut it down there. Yeah, Debbie B, it is good to have the van running again. Today is February 9th, 2024. This is day 1129 of, I don't know what to call it, the age of absurdity, I guess now. Ever since this regime got in power, it's unbelievable how much damage you can do in 1,129 days, but they're making a run at it, man. We're going to be covering Vigil number 557. 557 days Patriots have stood at Freedom Corner fighting for the rights of the J6 Patriots. Hi, Jane Febo. All right, Indiana sending guardsmen to the border. That's good to hear, man. Well, it's not a mullet, but it's like I trimmed the beard and I still got to get a haircut yet. But I was the first guy to have a mullet, I'll have you know. I invented the mullet. So yeah, let's get right into it here. A lot of stuff going on. It was a great vigil last night. There was quite a few Patriots there. Good crowd of Patriots standing for freedom, making a stand down there at the Gulag in D.C. So I think Sherry had a good prayer last night, man. Sherry's a great prayer, and I really like it when I get to hear Sherry pray, man. She's just good at it. Says a good prayer every time. Nicole got on the microphone and congratulated Stormtrooper, 1791 Stormtrooper, for getting 1.4 million watch hours on his YouTube channel with the live streams from Freedom Corner. So congratulations, Trooper. He's rocking it. And then he gets on True Social, he's on Rumble, he's on all the other ones. And let me tell you what, man, I hung out quite a bit with Trooper, and that guy works, man. You might think he's only live streaming the corner every night, but all day long he is putting out the message, making flyers and stuff for J6 issues and anything J6 affiliated. Critical Thinker, hello, welcome. How you doing, Sylvia? Hello, it's good to see you. I feel like it's been so long, man, but I think I'm back in the action here, getting things done and getting back in the role, getting everything going here. Nicole was also mentioning about the political prisoners in America. That, you know, we got all these J6ers. What was it, 1,300 now so far that have been charged with J6. And then in addition to that, man, this regime is also putting people in jail who are standing by abortion clinics and praying. Congress made a special law that they can really go after them called the face bill or whatever. So recently there was several women that were in their 70s that have received 10-year sentences. I think it was 11-year sentences for praying outside of an abortion clinic, man. It's another aspect of the age of absurdity, man. These women are standing for God, you know. standing for Jesus and the respect of life that we're taught to have. And this Department of Justice has no qualms about going after grandmothers who want to pray and want to save babies, man. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I don't know how to put it into words. And then Nicole said about how every night we sing the national anthem at 9 o'clock, and the J6ers started it long ago, way before there was a Freedom Corner Vigil. And at 9 o'clock, they all stand up and sing the national anthem. And that in itself is a form of protest by the prisoners inside the prison to just stand against this tyranny, you know? We can't comply with their tyranny. It's crazy. It's life-shattering. Taylor Jonatakis got on the phone, and he was the first caller last night. Said that his wife is in D.C. and that she has to make a 3,000-mile journey. So today is Friday, and Friday is the day that the J6ers get visits. And Taylor, I hope you had a great visit with your wife, man. I'm sure it tears you up to be apart from them, and I just hope you have a good visit, and it's good to see her after such a long period of time. Taylor also mentioned he's into another book now. Like before, he was reading Ayn Rand and Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, and now he's into the book called Animal Farm, and a George Orwell book called Animal Farm. And I can remember reading this book, but man, it had to be 45 years ago, and just hearing Taylor talk about it makes me want to pick it up again and read it. There's so much been written about tyrannical governments, and it helps to read like a book of fiction on it, because you can just see, and basically what he did, he read part of the book, and then he summed it up by saying we are living in the last scene of that book. And Animal Farm is it's a fiction book. I think it's about like the animals take over the farm. They didn't like how the farmer was treating them, so the animals take it over. But then the pigs take over the animals, and it's a whole story. And I haven't just read it, just hearing Taylor talk about it last night. And that is exactly what's going on here. It's like a template that you can see exactly what's going on in the world right now, or in America specifically. Then they started talking about the Supreme Court ruling. Supreme Court going after Trump. We got all this ruling that the president doesn't have presidential immunity. They're just making stuff up as they go along, because every president up until Trump has had immunity. They have not gone after a president after his presidency and tried to charge him with crimes. And there's a good reason for that, because it would have happened every single time a party changed holding the office of president. At the same time, the charges against Joe Biden for the secret documents, the classified documents that they found in his garage, have been dropped. And the wording that it made the excuse for was that he's an elderly man. While they were questioning him, he couldn't remember when he was vice president. He couldn't remember when his son Beau died. And they're basically saying, how can we put a senile old man on trial for keeping documents that he shouldn't have had? And now this is the guy that's sitting in the White House right now. I mean, does it get any weirder? Taylor summed it up with one word: pathetic. That's what it is. It's pathetic, man. And then they got into talking about the D.C. rebrand. The District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., has been arguing that they want statehood, and it would be probably not a good thing for conservatives and Republicans, because then they would get 2 senators and X number of House of Representatives people, and it would tip the scales in Democrats' favor by doing that. So Taylor's saying that they want to be called the state of Columbia. And I've seen a lot of that evidence down in D.C. when I was down there all the time. And that's a lot of the people want it there. We'll have to see what happens. Taylor Jonatakis has a website called The Peasant's Perspective, and that is where he posts a lot of the essays that he writes, in addition to other worthy essays and articles that he would like to share with everybody. All right, I think my chat froze up, so I'm not able to interact with you here. We'll see. Maybe it'll get kicking here. But so far, so good, man. We got good network, broadcasting well. 34 in the house. All right. Next caller was Mark Brew. And Mark Brew was saying that he finally got outside for some sunlight. And then Tammy asked him, well, how long's it been? Or Sherry asked him, actually, how long has it been? And he said he hasn't been outside in 3 months. So he said he was just saying how great it was just to get some sunlight on him, you know, to get some vitamin D. Oh, okay. Everyone was just listening. All right, Deb. The chat is working. Just nobody chatted for a while there. Mark Brew finally got outside. Indoor recreation, he said, was not enjoyable because you were just going from one giant room, one giant, you know, just not pleasant room, into another giant not pleasant room for recreation. And he was just not partaking in that, but they finally let him to go outside yesterday. And then Mark Brew is another deep thinker about how the government operates and stuff. And he says that this whole system is a system of coercion. How they're coercing all these J6ers to take plea deals. If you don't take the plea deal, they throw on more felonies. And Chris Quaglin's finding that out, man. I mean, he started off with 2 or 3 felonies. Now he's got, 14, because he just refuses to take a plea deal. So Mark Brew is saying we got to go on offense. We got to go on offense using the law against these tyrants in their system. And these guys are just sitting around all day long figuring out how to do that, man. All he wants to do is just get home, take care of his dog. But here he is, you know, this is where God put him. And he's using every ability of his mind to fight against this thing. He's there all day. They're investigating all kinds of legal terms and legal systems. And when these guys first started talking, I couldn't even get my head around it. But there's different systems of law here. Like when we were talking about licenses the other day, now there's a whole subsection of law about licensing and stuff. And I kind of can get it now. And there's like a whole subsection of law called insurance. You know, the insurance companies write their own rules, and they have a system that you operate in. And another example that I was thinking of is we all got these phones and computers. And when you click into a site, it says accept cookies, you know. So this is the subsystem of the internet, where you got to ask. They got to ask you, do you want the cookies? You can't get in here if you don't take the cookies, but okay. And then you got to accept the terms of service, and it's like a subsystem of law that you operate in this realm of the internet with your telephones and stuff, man. All right. Small water guy. Pay attention, man. Yeah, Carol Burton, YouTube's been acting weird on me where it's just spitting me out on, even if I'm on Wi-Fi and stuff. So yeah, it has been acting weird. A lot of people have been saying about that too. And Mark Brew was watching the Trump case, or listening to it. We were able to listen to the arguments that were being made in the Supreme Court during that Trump case yesterday. And that was about the Colorado ballot removal is what they were talking about in the Supreme Court. We don't have a decision yet on that. I think it'll take a couple days for them to write their decisions, but they're expecting a majority of the justices should want to put, you can't take Trump off the ballot for a crime that he wasn't even charged with. They're saying that he can't be on the ballot because he committed insurrection, but he's never been charged with insurrection, and nor has any other J6er been charged with insurrection yet. And that this is an induced chaos that they're doing with this lawfare that they're using by just going after J6ers. To this day, they're still arresting more J6ers every week, and it's a chaos that they're bringing on. And that is one of their methods of operation. They bring in chaos, and then they offer you the solution to it. Total tyrannical behavior. Texas. He was saying about the convoy down there, how the media is not covering the border crisis enough. And that when they went down there with that convoy, that forced the media to cover it, because the convoy became a news-worthy thing to report on. And that's why we did it. That's why the people that were involved with that did that. They brought attention to the crisis at the border. And of course, the news lied about it, tried to make it look as foolish as possible, told the world that there was going to be 700,000 trucks there. And that was never, ever the idea. They just make stuff up. Somebody did say it would take 700,000 trucks to completely block the border, parked end to end. But then the mainstream media is telling everybody on their news channels that there's going to be 700,000 trucks. And they're just liars. And I don't know why people just continually go back to them and listen to more lies. After you get a blatant lie told you, you don't trust the liars anymore. But a lot of people still turning on the news on TV after just lying right to your face. Live streamers showed us, man. They showed us exactly what was going on. And then the mainstream media sanitized the message. They cut Jesus out of that whole message. And that Jesus was pretty much the main message about that. Because this country has a lack of morality, and we're looking for revival. We want people to understand we're all spiritual beings. And when you link up with the spiritual powers in this world, you can link up with the good or you can link up with the bad. And we're vessels that spirit can dwell in. So we want people to get back to morality and figure out where that comes from and learn about their Savior, understand why they need a Savior. And Mark Brew was also saying that we have to force this offense onto the law. The system will not incriminate itself. All right, there is so much. Just so much wrong with what's going on, but the system itself is never going to correct itself. Then we got another call from Daniel Ball, and this was a good long call from Daniel Ball that he doesn't call very often, but man, was it good to hear him, man. And he was just so happy that we are standing for the J6ers out there every day. They are helpless inside that prison. And he was just telling us how much it meant that we are out there, that people are writing him letters, that people are donating to his commissary so he can get real, not real food, but supplemental food. Yeah, isn't that beautiful, the farm? This is a dairy farm here. They have a little dairy store. It's called Oregon Dairy. IC4, how are you? Cinnabee, hello. Hi, Cleo. Yeah, they sanitize God out of everything, Cleo, right? We all see it. That's why we got to get loud and visible with that message. And then Daniel Ball had a bunch of choice words for FJB about the old man with a poor memory. FJB lost his place. So FJB, all right, so the court calls him an old senile man and they can't charge him or make him stand trial for these secret documents that he had. And then he holds a press conference and loses his place in his notebook and then calls the president of Egypt the president of Mexico. I mean, here we are, people. Did everybody not just see that? We've been telling them how bad FJB's mind is getting. Everybody can see it. He shuffles when he walks. We've all had older people that we have seen go through this. And it's just an insult to still have this guy in power. And to think that he's actually going to run again, it just can't be true. It can't be true. Something's going to happen where there's just no way they're going to be able to run FJB again. But here we are. He's running, you know? Or he'll probably do as much as about running this time as he did last time. Sit in his basement and just tell all the black people they ain't black unless they vote for him, you know? The ridiculous things that came out of his mouth, man. All right, and then in addition to that, James O'Keefe is a undercover reporter. I hope you should all probably have seen him before. He went on a gay date with a White House staffer who is like in the White House dictating the policy of the White House. And this guy's just spilling his guts on a gay date. And James O'Keefe is filming it, and at the end he takes his costume off and just calls him a dumbass, basically. This guy's into cybersecurity, but couldn't figure out that he was sitting there spilling his guts to James O'Keefe, you know? So these people are just blatant idiots, man. Yeah, Metal is joy. God will be victorious over the evil. Yes, he will. And then Daniel Ball was saying how D.C. is an area of 68 square miles. And it's safer to live in El Salvador than it is to live in D.C. right now. The crime wave in D.C. is through the roof because of the way they've defunded their police there and their policies of just letting people, of not prosecuting violent crimes. And it's just ridiculous. That's our capital. Crazy, crazy. So it was really good to hear from Daniel Ball again. Nicole got on the microphone again saying thank you for the donations. They're doing a fund drive. Donate $24 and it will be matched up until there's a period of time that where your donations will get matched. These are the donations that run Freedom Corner. Nicole and Tammy and Mickey are the core of that group, and they have to rent a house to be able to stay there. We have expenses at the corner that need to be paid, and the phone, you got to pay for the phone. They're paying for certain commissaries. So the way to donate to that is you go to the website forashley.com and donate there. And then Nicole also was saying how Ohio Navy mom's AJ just got surgery, so we're praying for him that he's going to heal up well from that surgery. Ohio Navy mom and AJ are an incredible support network on Freedom Corner. They're awesome patriots, and they make some of the best baked goodies in the world, man. Until Valentine's Day? Okay, Debbie B, thank you. right, we got some links. There we go. There's the forashley.com link. So we got to keep it going, man. 557 days so far. Never skipped a day. Come rain, shine, blizzards, snow, they have been there. Patriots have stood at Freedom Corner every day. And we got to keep it going. No matter who shows up there and starts yelling at them, you know, those people still show up 1, 2 at a time now. Not too many of them. It's really annoying when they do show up. And we just tell them about, you know, they're sinners and they need Jesus every time they show up. So it's like a troll missionary service too. You need Jesus, trolls. That's why you're a troll. Nicole also mentioned about how Guy was severely psychologically tortured when he was in that prison. She said he was in solitary for some ungodly amount of time, like 70 days or something like that. And Guy Reffitt was, I think, the first J6er that was convicted. He is now sentenced. He's serving out his term. And Nicole has been at the corner helping the J6 movement ever since. And God bless her. I can't imagine being in Nicole's shoes, you know. It's horrible. It's horrible what her family has to go through with this. But we will expose it. We are exposing it. And we have made some headway. Hopefully this will be remedied before November. And then Nicole had some good news about Ken Harrelson has gotten out of prison. He's in a halfway house now. That comes at the end of your sentence. Everything's going good. You go to a halfway house to try to acclimate back into society for a little while. And that's good news for Ken Harrelson. Oh, I didn't know that was Silly for Him's birthday. Valentine's Day. Money matched until Valentine's Day. All right. That's awesome. And Silly for Him's about ready to celebrate a birthday. Awesome. Yes, very strong women at the... I am in awe of the women at that corner, because it has been a core group of women that have run that whole thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So good news for Ken Harrelson. Sherry did the roll call last night. Man, it's, you know, every time it's just brutal. Brutal. I think there's over 200 names on that, and those are the guys that are currently incarcerated, the ones that are in jail now and still. Okay. AngelsPatriotBattle.org. Ken Harrelson's wife. Thank you, Deb. I know Nicole said something about this, but I didn't have a chance to write it down. Thank you. So that's Angel Harrelson, his wife. And they got a website there. You can keep up with the updates on their family there, which is awesome. Let's see. I also got word, too, from Deb for Freedom that there's two new I think it was Deb. You told me about two new J6ers. A guy named Douglas Wyatt and another guy named John Todd III are in the Gulag. New J6ers in the Gulag. Watch out. Silly's got her dancing shoes on. Okay, we got a new updated roll call tonight. Thank you, Patriots. This is what the chat is all about here. You guys got all kinds of information. Okay, we'll get a new updated roll call. She makes patches and t-shirts. Okay, Angel Harrelson makes patches and t-shirts. That would be cool to get. Should it be? I think it's like 200 names on that roll call right now. Maybe not that many. Okay, then we got a call from Jeff Sable, man. And, man, I just can't imagine being Jeff Sable. This guy has been doing the phone call for the national anthem every night for months and months. And he has also organized, like, the guys to sing at Christmas time. They did some awesome carols. And he's the organizer of all that. And he doesn't really talk about his plight very often. But Jeff Sable's been in that prison for over 1,100 days. And this should be an outrage to anybody in the legal profession, you know, any judges, any lawyers, just people everywhere in the profession of the law should be outraged at this. That anybody can sit in prison for 1,100 days before they get sentenced. It's just absurd. And Jeff is an incredibly humble guy. He never talks about himself, but every once in a while, we get this perspective from him that what else can go wrong, you know? He is definitely making the best of it. And Jeff Sable, they sung the national anthem last night. They sounded great. So did our Freedom Corner Patriots. And then they go over the news items of the day. No charges for FJB on the classified documents case. But Trump is getting run through the gauntlet on every possible legal case that they can do there. Jeff Sable's thinking Big Mike is going to step in May. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Sylvia. This is the only way that you can get donations to me, and I need some money again. Just did the van repairs. It wasn't as major as I thought it was, and luckily it was just a starter and a front axle, so it should be about $300 in parts. I gotta buy the axle and put the axle on yet, but it runs locally without that. But in order to run to DC again, I'm going to need a new axle up there. So all I got is this post office box, and I really would appreciate it if you could donate some money for me, or prayers or letters. Anything is good. I like hearing from you patriots. So yeah, with Joe Biden on the senile list now it's documented in court cases that the guy couldn't think of things while they were questioning him before the court case, all right? This was all in the paperwork. They had questioned FJB, but they didn't question him in court. But in the papers that they wrote up from that questioning, he was very forgetful. He was acting funny, acting weird, and it's in court documents now. That's our president. That's the guy who stole the election. So Jeff is like, well, who are they going to run? Who can they possibly run? And Michelle Obama, Big Mike, is the only one that we can think of that would actually do anything. I don't care who they pick. I want to see Trump just mulch them in a debate or two or three. In the meantime, there's been more and more ballot fraud busts going on. More and more people they're finding people that are convicted of ballot stuffing, all kinds of criminals, and that trickles in. Every week there's another 1, 2, 3, 4 cases that have been determined all around the country, Wisconsin, Georgia. And just this week there was more people. I think it was New Jersey? I'm not it was somewhere northeast. New York, maybe. It was a New York guy who got busted for stuffing ballots, man. And then Jeff is also mentioning the RNC chairwoman, Ronna McDaniels. When is she going to resign? Now she's saying she's going to resign after the South Carolina primary. But, man, we've been hearing about this for months and months. She's been talking. Everybody's talking. I'll believe it when I see it, but she's got to go, man. That woman has mismanaged our funds big time. Jeff Sable mentions that they're still arresting J6ers. Jeff Sable also mentioned that there's a great Julie Kelly article. Julie Kelly has been reporting on the J6 courtroom stuff, and he just read an article that Julie Kelly wrote. It was awesome, man. And then what else do we got here? I think that's about it for J6. Nicole mentioned the Middletons. They've been going to the courthouse and sitting in on the Middletons trial in D.C. And right now that is currently in deliberations. So Nicole and Tammy have been going into the Middletons there for a while. And Mickey's out of town for a while. She flew back to California, taking a couple weeks off, doing some things around there. And she just did a big stint down in D.C., so hope she gets some good rest. Nicole just coming off of a rest. She's been back for about a week and a half now. You got to bust out of D.C. You just can't take it that long. You think so, Cleo? You think it'll be Big Mike and Newsom as VP? We'll see. But isn't it weird how FJB kicked RFK Jr. out of the Democrat Party? Says he's not going to win, not going to be a Democrat nominee. So they just, that's how he does it. He's like a little baby tyrant. They keep making, they've been saying Trump's a little baby tyrant, but who's the one acting like a little baby tyrant? It's FJB all the way. Get out of my sandbox. Give me my ball back. All that stuff. It's so childish. So childish. Buckeye Burton. So news, I just went over news yesterday. Who's in charge of the USA? I don't have my news notes for today, though. Who's in charge of the USA, man? Some old senile guy in the White House? That's not what Mike Johnson's saying. Mike Johnson is saying it's obvious Joe Biden is not in control. So who is in control? Is it this gay guy James O'Keefe went on a date with? Is that who's calling the shots in the White House? The little leadership group in the White House calling all the shots on stuff? I don't know. And then, all right, so I went to this meeting yesterday in Lancaster. It was a total waste of time. Total waste of time. Pennsylvania is going to just let the post office, the United States Postal Service, run our elections because they want to go in with all mail-in voting. And when you insert the United States Postal Service into your election system, I can't imagine anything good is going to happen from that. And then we got some rhino Republican guy just totally ridiculing Giuliani about every claim that Giuliani was fighting for early after the election. All those court cases that got kicked out of court for lack of standing. Okay, Michelle admitted she hates being stuck in the White House. And James O'Keefe's gay date said that too. He said that Michelle Obama has no desire to run for president, was repulsed by the whole thing. Admitted she has hated being stuck in the White House. She has zero actual qualifications. She also needs an independent medical exam to clarify all the gender rumors. Do we have a right to know if it's a man or a woman president? I don't know. Maybe that'll be a Supreme Court case in 2 or 3 years. We could waste all the Supreme Court's time on this, man. Yeah, how could she be trusted? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Candidate Derek Evans releases footage of infiltrator shooting gun on January 6th. I just watched this the other day. Never seen this footage before. It was definitely filmed by somebody that was in the crowd, and some looks like a Mexican guy, climbs halfway up the scaffolding, fires 2 rounds off into the air, and then climbs back down. And then the article is, or Derek Evans, that was on Derek Evans' website, I believe. He has a website. That's where I saw it. And he's saying that as soon as those 2 shots went off, it was almost like a signal. And that's when a lot of the pepper spray started coming at the crowds up in the front area there. So, don't know. The guy the guy with the gun was wearing a bright red jacket and everything. I mean, it was really easy to spot. So if the 44,000 hours of security footage ever becomes available to the public, like Johnson says it will be, we'll be able to identify that guy real easy. And we don't want the faces blurred out. We want to know who the faces are. The only reason they would blur faces out in that stuff is if to hide the undercover guys. And what were they doing there undercover anyways? Yeah, no proof of the voting. So this is my plan. 1-day voting, voter ID, paper ballots, no machines. I think that makes it real simple, real simple. I hope you all called Ken Buck and McClintock and that other guy with the voting, not to voting Mayorkas out of office. Hopefully that's going to come up for a revote, though, because of some legal maneuver that somebody flipped his vote to no. Who knows what rules they got? They make them up. So apparently they're going to vote to impeach Mayorkas one more time. Yes, and Mike Johnson needs to finish releasing the footage. It's still not out there. I can't go to a website and look at footage yet. Yeah, we could have a stub off of the ballot, like a rip-off, tear-off, perforated stub on your ballot. And then this rhino at this voter meeting last night was ridiculing hand counts. And he was just saying hand counts are notoriously flawed. So, all right, so let's have dueling counting machines or something. Let's have the Republicans get a counting machine and the Democrats get a counting machine, and you run that stack through their machine and run it through their machine. If the number doesn't match, you do it again. I mean, that's all there is. There's got to be a way. And putting the postal service in the middle of everything is not the way. I hope they get rid of Mayorkas. I mean, what a catastrophe at the border, man. And now I'm hearing about the northern border, the Canadian border. People came over the southern border, set up gangs that are now, they're coyotes that are bringing people into Canada or down into the United States from Canada for money. And now the drug cartels are making more money off of human trafficking than they are off of drugs. Yeah, tell them to come to the Vigil, send staffers to the courthouse, see what the monkey business is going on in there, what's with these leadership teams. There's so many issues. Why? And it's good to, when you call them, to just think about what you're going to say before you call them and try to make it as pleasant as possible. You're just talking to an intern on the phone. Unless you're calling a Democrat senator, they got answering machines. They don't even let you talk to a human. But it seems like all the Republicans had people that answered their phone, especially off of the phone numbers that were coming off of that Bill Blaster app I was telling you about. The Bill Blaster app since I got that app, I must have made 20 phone calls to representatives because it does make it so easy. All right, Crystal Sanderson, hello. Hey there. Crystal, I just was watching your videos from the convoy. Awesome compilations. You get to see all the different streamers that were there. That had to take a lot of work, Crystal. God bless you for doing that. Check out Crystal Sanderson's YouTube channel. She puts together all the streamers that are out there. Every week she'll put a couple of scenes from all the stuff that they streamed that week. And I think you're up to like, what, 8 videos per week to fit it all in there, since we have so many live streamers now. Oh, and here we go. FBI refuses to turn over to Seth Rich laptop. Still hiding contents from the American public despite a court order. When is it gonna get real in America here? Okay, here's Bill Blaster. This is the app. I just got it by going to the App Store and typing in Bill Blaster. And it's a free app that you can get on your phone, and you can just look up all your representatives in your state, or you can get into a directory that will lead you to all 535 representatives. I would also wish they would add like state attorney generals in there and, you know, things like that, but for some time in the future. There's Crystal Sanderson's YouTube channel. Make it easy to subscribe there. Just hit that link in the chat. Go right there, hit subscribe. Doing a great job, Crystal. Part of the network, man. There's so many of us, man. Carol Burton, Silly for Him, Sunkiss, Deb for Freedom. All these people that are doing mod work is an incredible help for all of the YouTubers also. If we didn't have mods, these trolls would be making a mockery of anything we try to do. They just come in and they're like a dog that isn't house trained, you know. They come in and then they go, "Oh, you're hurting my free speech," you know. Well, no, just shut up and get out, because you're not participating in a beneficial manner. And you need Jesus. All right, so I feel like I'm back in action now. That convoy was an endurance run, man. That was for sure. That was 10, 12 hours of YouTube in a day for like 5 days in a row. So I almost needed a little break. Got down to Freedom Corner for a couple days, so made that happen thanks to Ridgeline and thanks to donations that you guys made to Ridgeline to be able to do that. Ridgeline had a big plan to help out, help Jane and Sherry, and then all of a sudden Sherry goes, "I'm going on a convoy," which messed everything up. So then we just we replanned another event, and we got down to Freedom Corner and hung out with Roger and while Sherry was away. So that was cool. That was very cool. Pathfinder, I got mine on an iPhone. The link might only be the iPhone one, though. That's right, Smalley. Action Jackson Jericho. Wish I could do more. Every night when I go to bed, I'm laying in my nice bed, thinking now, Jeff Sable hasn't spent a night at home in his own bed in over 1,100 days, man. It tears me up. It tears me up. "26 videos from this past 2 weeks. Took about 3 days to finish that. The most I've done in a long time. Wow, Crystal. I know it's got to be a lot of work. You go through so many videos and just put screenshots up from every single one. Okay, we'll post that link. Dev for Freedom's the BillBlasterApp.org. Really, we got illegals working at the Walmart in Lancaster. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I called my governor, and asked them to send National Guard down because I'm seeing them here too. And there's a lot of like church people that are helping. You know, these people are human beings, but I don't know what the answer is. The answer is to close the border and not let them in the first place, because the people that are getting in are aren't the ones that really need it. They're the ones that were able to pay the coyotes $6,000 a head to bring them in, because the cartels control the Mexican side of that border. And if you're just a poor family from El Salvador walking up to the border to get asylum in America, you don't get past the cartels. They ain't letting you in. You got to pay the cartels, and then you can get in. I mean, that's what's going on down there. You got North Carolina governor trying to bring in the illegals there. It is a humanitarian crisis. It is horrible. It is horrible what's going on. And then these people taking advantage of us that are coming in from militaries from other countries. Oh, really? Jay Jones went to a meeting last night trying to drum up flag waves and got shot down. Oh, no. No, we'll be getting some flag waves in around here. I think Trump is speaking in Harrisburg today. I just realized this like an hour ago. I forgot today was the day. I was going to run up there, but I don't got time to do it right now. And the van needs that axle. I'm not fully 100% mobile. Harrisburg is like an hour trip for me. And I would not feel safe going up there with this axle bleeding grease out the way it is. But look for Trump's speech. He's speaking to the NRA tonight in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Yeah, right. And the party bonds if they truly are poor, the cartel gets them and puts them into servitude. Indentured, they turn them into slaves, man. Chinese are coming, the Russians are coming. Big D, Master Grifter, Oreo, and First Responders Media has been really showing us exactly what's going on there. Master Grifter's still down there. I was just watching him earlier today. You shouldn't be supporting the illegals. Yeah, he was supposed to talk at 4 o'clock or something. Right. Yeah, Smalley, I used to be in the NRA. But man, do they just hit you up every 2 weeks. They're sending you something. There are better gun rights advocates out there. Gun Owners of America. And there's another one. GOA, though, Gun Owners of America, was a good one. They have a good leader. Or they did 5 years ago. I just recently dropped my membership with the NRA. Yes, Holly, pray their videos can get to the major news about what's happening at the border. Some of them did, and they didn't get credit for their videos. That one about the guy who said, "You'll know who I am. You'll know who I am soon." The one immigrant that said that. They didn't get credit for that video. All right, Patriots. Let's get some food in our bellies. Let's check out Trump's speech tonight. And I'll see you guys all there up at Freedom Corner. Back in action here with the updates. Local gun right groups, yeah. Get involved. Get involved anywhere you can. Go to these meetings that they're having about voting. Go to the school board. Make sure they're not teaching your kids how to be transgendered when they're in 3rd grade and stuff. All right, Pathfinder Patriot with Gun Owners America. Good. I'm going to have to get in with one of them. There is another one. Right to Keep and Bear Arms, RTKBA, I think it's called. All right, here's one of these new convoys getting ready to go. Save America Freedom Convoy, March 2nd, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Anyone down in the area, get going on that. I'll check that out, because that's the first time I saw a link for that, Sylvia. Thank you. And there was a bunch of other things going on, too. There was a Canadian convoy ready to go into Ottawa on the 17th of February. And then there's always Branson. Branson's all slated to go next November. That's not soon. Yeah, right. The videos, it is important to get credit for the videos, but the point is that if you get the video, right, that's the most important thing. That's right, everybody. Wave your flags, get on a bridge, show some patriotism, keep your head on a swivel, make sure your neighborhood is good, know who your neighbors are, too, just in case things go sideways real fast, and that's a possibility. So make sure you got some water, make sure you got some food, make sure you got your meds that you're going to need. Make sure you can make it like 2 weeks without going to the store, without filling up the tank on your car, because that can happen. That can probably happen here between now and November. Who knows what these tyrants are going to pull. All right, God bless you all, patriots. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being involved and loving this country. I'll see you guys at the corner at Freedom Corner in the chats. This is Jericho, over and out.